So welcome back to the Féileacáin Fathers Podcast. Whether this is your first time tuning in or you've been with us before, it's absolutely great to have you back. I suppose the Féileacáin Fathers Podcast is very important to all of us here, but really what it's about is any parent who's experienced, unfortunately, the nightmare of child loss and gone through the hurt and the pain. This is a way of just keeping their memories alive and thinking of the parents who still have yet to go through it. But on to the first part of Call and Business today, I'm joined by the absolutely top man, goalkeeper and poet and wordsmith, Mr. Joey. How are you, Joey? Introduce yourself.
Yeah, lads, absolute honour to be here. I'm Joey, proud father to Alfie. First time doing it like this, but it's an absolute honour. And most importantly, to be doing it with Jay and Debbie, and for you guys to tell us your story about Noah. It's an absolute privilege to be here with you to do this. So we might just jump in and ask how you guys are feeling and what's it like to be here, and maybe we get going from there.
Yeah, well, we're delighted to be asked because obviously now we're almost 15 years. Noah will be 15 now next June, so we're way down the line. But you still obviously remember it like it was yesterday. So if coming on here can help even one or two parents, it'd be worth it. So very nervous about it, but sure, hopefully we'll do Noah proud.
You already are doing him proud by being here. What about you, Jay? How are you feeling?
Very nervous.
Yeah.
Very, very nervous. Just to talk about Noah. It's going to be hard. I know it's going to be hard. But it's something I always wanted to do. And I'm looking forward to doing it. Especially having Debbie by my side.
Yeah. And it's an amazing thing to get to do. And I know it's nerve-wracking, and myself and Joe, we've all felt like that. But when you get out of here, you will have that amazing thing because you know who you're doing it for. The same as I'm here for Brooke and the same with Joe. It's a way, it's like Féileacáin Fathers, isn't it? It's a way of keeping the memory alive and a bit of connection. So it's always that $1 million question. Where do we start? Where do we go from? Like, where did you meet? Or, where did, how long were you together? What was a bit of the background?
We're 30 years together.
Right, is that all? Is that all?
Yeah.
And by the way, we're still only 47 every time he says that.
Yeah, we're
Childhood sweethearts, as most people say, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
a long time.
A long time.
So.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just talking about, like, we've two other lovely children, Kayla, my eldest daughter, and Adam, which some of you know. He just been involved with Féileacáin football.
They got us through, didn't they?
They did get it through, because when you look back, and it'll be this June now, as Debbie said, it'll be 15. So Kayla was only 9 and Adam was only 5 when this happened.
Okay.
So they obviously didn't understand. So it was hard as well, because as fathers have to do, or fathers think they have to do, I should say, we have to be strong. We're the fathers of the house, you know, and the kids are there. You still have to get looked after. You still have to go to school and things like that. So that side was very, very hard. We had a long journey, and we're always going to have the journey.
Yeah. But I think you're right. I think it's a fella's thing. I know I relate to that. That's what I done as well. I'll look after everyone else and I'll forget, but it's just basic instinct. These are all going through. We're all going through this. It's like, it's very surreal. When it happens, I remember when it happened with me, I rang into my boss that morning and said I won't be into work today. Do you know, it's such a level of shock and just something that you're not prepared for. But I think that's a fella's thing. And can I ask, so when with Noah, Noah was your first or third? Third, okay. When you said something there, isn't it amazing when you still have a child? And I think of other parents as well, but just have a child to go home and hug. So I know when we lost Brooke, we still had Summer at home, just to be able to go home and hug someone and just take some of that pain away.
Yeah. Now for us, we found out on our 20-week scan that Noah has kidneys didn't develop. So we had a thing called bilateral renal agenesis, or Potter syndrome as it's known as well. So at that, well, we'd gone in for the morning scan, and the only thing we were worried about was that they were going to tell us it was twins, because my brother had twins, and we were laughing going in, oblivious that anything can go wrong. We thought, everything's fine. And I remember the woman saying to me that she says, "Oh, you're very small," and I was like, "Yeah, I was the same on the others. Like, I was proud of myself, quite neat and not a bother." And then with the ultrasound, looking at it, I was like, "This isn't right." After having the 2 other ones. And there was no, she was like, "Oh, yeah, we'll just, we'll check again." And then we were sent home, and we were told to go back up at 2:00 so another doctor was in. And so we went down to Jason's mum's house, and I knew there was something wrong, and the nannies, and they were great and said, "No, don't worry, like, we'll go back up and everything will be okay," and which we know now it wasn't. But when we went back up, there was no fluid there. So basically we were told Noah would die either before, during, or after birth. They couldn't tell us when or what. They just had to check us every week and see what happened. But so after that I carried Noah for 16 weeks and a day from that day. And so basically I was pregnant, getting bigger each week, and we were planning his funeral while people are stopping you in Tesco and, "Oh, when are you due? What do you have?" And in our heads we were like, "We're not bringing this baby home," and we didn't know how it was going to go. But and like that, we had to go back and we'd Kayla and Adam, and I remember thinking, they're going to know there's something wrong. We can't hide this and make sure and say everything's going to be okay. So basically, we told them from the start that we didn't actually know we were having a boy, because they couldn't tell us because there was no fluid, and so we came up with the name Skittle. So Skittle was for the baby that we didn't know whether it was going to be a boy or a girl. And they're saying the doctor's going to keep checking, and they'll see if they, make Skittle better. But we don't know. So we were preparing them early on for what could happen, what we knew was going to happen, while still having that little bit of hope. Maybe they got it wrong, but deep down we knew, didn't we?
No, we knew. Basically the doctor and the nurses told us that, as Debbie said, go the whole way. But we'd have no more than 5 minutes with him. Now, that was hard to take. Yeah. And as Debbie said, my heart went out for her, because when I think back, after a few years after, I was thinking back, as Debbie hit on it there, like, Debbie worked in a post office.
No, I didn't
at the time. Oh, at the time she worked.
I worked with kids.
But as she's walking down the street, if we're walking down, as Debbie said, Tesco, or just going on a ramble, people coming up to that, when you do and all that. Debbie just break down. Yeah. It was dead little things that I think back on now. Like, so I wonder what Debbie was going through. Like, when I was off from work and that, Debbie was obviously potting around the house or going out shopping. So she had this every minute of the day.
Yeah, family and friends were great, because obviously we were in Arklow, and a family would be coming down from Dublin, and the friends would come down, just to be with me when Jay was at work, and so we had great support from the family and friends.
Yeah, good. But, even with the people down in Arklow, we're lucky. There's friends down there, still friends today. One of them was actually even Noah's godmother. And we're still friends there. Now, originally from Dublin, which I think helped, because down when we moved to Arklow first, we were young. We were only in their mid-20s, going into a little town, as now they do with the outcasts and all that. So there's a lot of dubs down there that we became friends with. So it was like being in Dublin, if you know what I mean. So that did help, because me and Debbie, we put ourselves in the bubble. We isolated ourselves from close people, from good friends of ours, very good friends of ours. But that was we done that, not them. We done it. So we just wanted to be together. Weekends, people wanted to come down. No, all this. So
is this during
it and after?
Mostly after.
Mostly after, but even during it, because I suppose during it, and people probably didn't want to come down because you probably didn't know what to say, you know. But after it, they knew we needed them. You know, that kind of way, because that's when it happened, obviously. But it's just, I always wondered how the kids, and you know what, I never actually asked them. Come to think, I never asked them.
But you're human as well. Like when you said that there, Debbie, my heart tore for you. It's like I can picture you're out shopping and you're just trying to keep.
You just pray nobody asks you anything.
There's no rule book on how to deal with it. Like I would have a similar story where myself and my wife buried ourselves into a little bubble together, and we didn't tell anyone. And we were early on in our pregnancy when we lost Alfie, and we didn't have to have that experience you guys went through. But you close yourself off, and you can see clearly the bond that you two have, how tight you two are after 30 years. Where something like this, I know of couples who have experienced baby loss and are no longer together. So, like, to have the two just clearly dragged each other through.
Now, to touch on that, like, we did struggle at the start, and it wasn't anything Jason did. I couldn't deal with a relationship as such, if you get me. It was more, I'd get up in the morning, Jason had to go back to work. I was up in the morning, get the kids up for the school, lunch is made, breakfast done, off to school, but then like get them home, start homework, whatever. But when Jason came in, I'd be gone to bed. I'd be like, okay. And we did that for months and months, and it was nothing he did. I just couldn't, that was one other thing I just couldn't cope with at the time. And I remember a chap it was a little Lifetime that helped us at the time, and we went to counselling, and the chap Peter said, you know, you're on a roller coaster, but you're sitting in two different carriages. So when I was up, Jason was down, which I was mostly down, and Jason had to be up. But then when it came, it must have been a year and a half, coming into 2 years after Noah died, and I finally, you know, I could see myself smiling more, or I'd have a laugh with friends, or feel really guilty then after it. But I did smile again, and started to sort of go back out into the community and mix a bit. And then Jason, he plummeted down because he was like, okay, I don't have to worry about Debbie anymore. I need help now. And that's the way it was for us. But I can see how couples don't get through it. Yeah. And you could say what my mum said to you.
Well, it was about a year and a half, probably 2 years after obviously what happened. As Debbie said, she touched on it. We started, like, we are getting invited to people's weddings and, you know what I mean, Park 24th and all, wherever it may be. And we are putting it off, always putting it off, making excuses. But the people knew we didn't have to make excuses. But eventually we started doing it. And then it was just Debbie's mother that actually said it to me. She actually said she was speaking to my mother about it. And then she's confronted Debbie. Well, it must be about 3-4 years after, was it?
Yeah, not confronted me.
No. But, you know, she said it to you. You know what I mean? She said it to you.
People will be watching this out there. What did you say?
Just to clarify, my mum did not confront me.
She said it to Debbie. And I didn't realise it at the time. But I got a loving out of it. She says to me, she said to Debbie was, how Jason is still with you today, I will never know.
Like how we got through, how we stood by the way. And not that I was treating him bad, there was a block there that I couldn't.
Debbie's mother said, she actually asked me, she said, like, Jason, please stick by her. But I was going to do it anyway. But I didn't realise that. I was like, what are you talking about? Of course I'm going to stick by her. You know what I mean? Here we are today, but back then it was obviously the journey we're on. But it's only when I think about it now, how bad, like, me and Debbie didn't realise what was really going on.
Yeah, and how can you?
You know,
how can
other people in the outside closers could see it.
Yeah.
Debbie said something there, and it's just to show you, and it's for people who are unfortunate. I hate saying that you have to go through it, and it's something you said it just hit me as well. That, like, your whole world has stopped. Like, you're numb. You're just existing. But you said something there. The whole world keeps going. Like, you have to get up and keep getting the kids ready. The bills keep coming, and but the whole time you're just dying inside. Yeah. It's very hard to be, you know, yourself, or try and be present, or, you know, just, I think that's one of the most powerful things that someone can say, you know, that it just nothing stops.
I was even hiding from the kids. Now, I think we were hiding because they're so young at the time. Well, not Karen, also Adam wouldn't know, Karen might have to.
Yeah.
Like, Debbie was going to bed. Like, when I was getting in at 5:30, at 6 o'clock, Debbie was going upstairs. Now we weren't fighting on it. Debbie'd have the dinner already, but I'd have to obviously look after the kids, give them their supper, finish out the homework, or look at whatever's on the table and entertain them. And we saying, our mummy's going like she has a cold, that she feels unwell, or she's tired. Like that went on for a good year. Every day now. And so Debbie you can be only so sick so much. So whether I'd say probably Adam wouldn't have, Kyle would have now, I'd say. Kyle would have known there was something going on. But we never really had a big fight, though.
No. The only time I do remember, there was one time like that, I'd gone up to bed and just lying in bed, and I heard Jason laughing. And now, I'm not sure how long, it could have been 6 months down, could have been 4, I'm not too sure how long it was. And I've never felt anger like it, and it's crazy that I just like, how can you laugh? And it's it was horrible because he felt terrible after. I felt terrible for upsetting him, and it was only fools and horses. And you had a big hearty laugh, and I was like, how can you? And nearly erupted. But the anger, like I've lost people close to me over the years, like very close, but this is a different loss, as you know.
You said it, Debbie, and it's just, I'm just going back on things you said, and you're talking about anger. This is anger. Like at 20 weeks, as you say, it was 20 weeks you told it, and you'd have to carry, like, what an unnatural thing, and to have to go through daily, you know. You feel pregnant, you are, you know, and to have to just wake up every day and that's your thought, like, that is, like, you've all my love and admiration for, you know, just, and you as well, Jay, but I always think for the women as you're getting bigger and that as well, like, what an experience. How could anyone blame you for being angry or reacting in situations like that? Because it's just, we say it as it is, it's just not fair, you know. It's one of them things, it's just not fair.
I do feel really guilty about the person I would have been at that time, like the angry and not there for other people, or, you know, especially for Kayla and Adam, because they're so young, they still needed their mum, and I wouldn't have been there as what I would have been beforehand. I like to think I was a good man beforehand, and after sort of got back to being a good man, but for those important years, I probably, like, I wasn't. It would have been.
You're always a good mother.
Yeah. No, fair. Like, they're amazing.
Find anyone that's listening to your story that have been in a similar situation are going to relate to those emotions that you went through, because let's be honest, like, was it 15 years ago you guys said went through it? I think it's 8 for myself. This kind of support network wasn't there back then. It was baby loss wasn't talked about. It was pushed under the carpet. Nobody wanted to bring it up or have an open conversation about it. Where when my dad died, everybody was talking to me. When my father passed away and had no problem. But when we lost Alfie, like, it took us, I genuinely mean this, it took Féileacáin Fathers for me to talk to my children about it and to our family about it, and that gave us that platform to open up. So I absolutely understand what you're going through, because my wife went through something very similar. So but I would never feel guilty or place any blame on yourself, because that was the norm. It's a normal reaction. And what she's doing this evening and talking about user experience, if there's a couple looking at her, they're going to go, do you know what, this is the norm, and it might help that bond come back together a little bit quicker for a family. So
that's it,
you know, and it gives, I always say this, it gives like Noah and Alfie and Brooke, gives them purpose. There's something to doing something like this, gives their names meaning, and puts meaning of a horrible experience for allow us to kind of, and not another generation, but another group of people who was going to go through this, to know that there's people like yourselves willing to share their stories to help them. So
now we were lucky as well, like, we had a lifetime.
Will you tell us a little bit about them, actually, because they were important on your part of your journey? So
because for us, when we, sorry Jason,
just the thing about little lifetime at the time, back then there was Barrettstown, and I don't know if anybody's been to Barrettstown. There's usually three weekends you go. They're about 2 months apart from each other.
Well, about 3 or 4 maybe.
Months apart from each other. And you get down to Barrettstown, but we went in there through Little Lifetime.
It's a bereavement camp.
Bereavement camp. It was built around for kids mostly, but obviously adults. They have different sessions and all that for adults and things like that. And the kids that get brought and do activities and things like that. And the kids can play with other kids in the same, have lost their brother or sister, whatever it may be. And then obviously the adults and just counters and that there. But the first time we done it, I only gone because Debbie was pushing to go. More for the kids.
To go for
That
the
happens
kids,
a lot.
yeah.
But I was like, okay, we'll go. Now the first one, I'll be totally honest about it. The first one was I was there, but I wasn't there. And Debbie, and then it's just when we came home, like I was talking about it, and then we went to the second one. Debbie said, we could try the second one, but when I went back the second time, it was I experienced that. That's what then I realised. Hold on a minute. It was the second and third one was absolutely brilliant, and I owed him an awful lot for that.
The first one was probably a bit soon for us because Noah died in June and we went in the September, so still very raw. And I remember we went in, and it's amazing because you don't lift a finger there. They look after the kids. They give you your dinner. They take the plates away. Like you literally just have to be there, and the support is amazing. And like that little lifetime got us there. But the first one, I remember going in and we went in. It's like you go into this little chalet to stay, and they have caras there, they're called, and they look after the kids and, you know, do bits. And it was, but I think it was Kayla and Adam, they were giving out about a room, or which room they were going in. And then I nearly lost the plot again. And I was like, we're leaving, we're going, I'm not staying. And it was like, just to go from 0 to 180 in like a split second it's irrational. Like when you look back now, it's irrational, but I understand like now, but at the time I felt so bad then.
Only 4 months after.
Yeah, it was.
It still hasn't
But
even.
we made lovely friends there as well, and we did
friends today.
laugh. Yeah,
Are they?
we
Yeah.
still meet up with the women for lunch and that. But we laughed. We did laugh at that. We cried a lot, but there was laughter there as well. And
see, I think what I'm trying to say there, Deb, is I know we laughed. People probably be listening to this now saying, how can a parent get out after 4 months? But all the other parents there are in the same boat we're in.
Yeah.
they get it.
They get it. So it's like there's no outsider looking in. We're all the same. So if everybody's sort of engaging and trying to have a little bit of fun for the kids or just socialising, you didn't feel uncomfortable because nobody was judging you.
Yeah. Or thinking
Yeah,
that people are
thinking like-
judging
Right,
you.
yeah.
Like, could you imagine me and Debbie doing that, and there's other couples there that and sitting in a pub saying they only lost a child, they should be shit. But you didn't feel like that there.
Yeah.
I think that's what made me more comfortable the second and third time. Because I seen that in the first one, I didn't engage, but I did the second and third time.
It's probably one of the first times you had some type of peace. Now, you know, peace is a very strong word, but just some moment where you actually went, I always find some comfort in it. It's what Féileacáin Fathers has given me, that although it doesn't, sometimes it's just nice to know that you're with other people who've been through your pain. You're not the only one. I know that can kind of sound quite mean as well, but it's not. It just gives you a connection to say, you look at a person, you look at another mother, you look at another father, and you just go, you understand.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful thing
Feel
that,
comfortable.
yeah.
I know
Takes
it's
away
probably not
that
the
why
words.
me kind of question, because
Yeah.
when it happens to you, as you have said, your world stops and you think nobody else has experienced what I've experienced. But to be around like-minded families, and you kind of show that, it was okay to be angry at that time, or it was okay to be emotional. And all of us being Irish, we don't talk about our emotions or our feelings unless they're being buried into a corner and they're being pulled out of us. So having that support network there, it's phenomenal to allow yourself to grieve with like-minded people.
I think your mother actually got in touch with Féileacáin, didn't she?
Mum got the memory box from Féileacáin, and there was the little bear in it, and we actually got another. No, we had the bear, so there was 2 bears, so they get to keep. You know, we get to keep a bear, and the bear goes with Noah. And what we did, we got was actually Noah's godmother. Brought me. We got chains, the Me Too chains. We got 2 of them, so that Kayla had one half and her half went with the teddy, and then Adam has the other half and his one. So Noah has a full one, and they have a half one each on their little teddy then as well. So like little things like that. Support like that. But I'm raging, Féileacáin Fathers wasn't around for Jason at the time, because we went to support meetings and basically Jay was just driving me, and because I wanted to go and I'd probably talk or we'd listen, and whereas Féileacáin Fathers for you is like
Féileacáin Fathers is obviously engaging with people like yourselves that understand where I'm coming from. If it's probably not the right word to use, but
No,
you know where I'm coming from. Like when I'm in that dressing room with you guys and everybody that's involved, all your fathers and siblings, the brothers there as well. When we're in the dressing room, it's like you're not getting judged. Now I've been in dressing rooms all my life, but when I went in the dressing rooms after, people are sort of like they don't know what to say to you, and I feel uncomfortable then. And as you know, share the dressing room with me, I talk to anybody. if there's going to be one or two messes in the dressing room, I guarantee I'll be one of them.
Well, we were worried about just not talking here today.
but when I was in other dressing, like I felt the lads felt uncomfortable around me. They didn't mean to. I understand that they didn't know how to engage with me because they didn't experience it. When we walk into that dressing room next weekend, or when we're down on the Dockman 5 sites, it's like a band of brothers. If it's like this, put it that way, you don't feel uncomfortable. And if I got that out of it, and I just want to give that back to other fathers and siblings that want to come in, to be there for them, because people are there for me. Yeah. It's like we have to pass on the baton, as they say. You guys are on, I'll step back. It's up to you to pass it on. You have to make people feel comfortable, and that's all we want to do. When it comes to the football side of it, because it does mean an awful lot to me. Because I'm not getting any younger, and I can't be playing any longer. But I will keep involved.
You get to play with one of your lads every so often, like during the matches. Tell us what it's like to step on the pitch with him. And
wow, what a thing!
Yeah,
what a
unbelievable.
Thing.
You have to realise, me and Debbie are lucky that Noah's two grandparents are still alive today.
Right.
And they're from the Rings End area, but that's where they live. As you know, Kayla, my daughter, and her partner Josh. And then you have Adam, that has played with us, Brad's known, and his partner Kayla, and the families are all down there on the June of our annual football tournament get together. For to walk out to that pitch, Adam means the world to me. He's out there representing his brother, and he's in front of his mother and everybody, his sister and everybody else who just said, we walk out together. We were lucky enough to be on the same team together with bar once. I actually played against him, but that's neither here nor there. But we always walk out together on the pitch. And the minute silence before the game, which he's all experienced, standing there and having my arms around Adam means the world to me.
I can imagine.
And I know it means the world to him. And to look behind me and see all the people I talked about there looking over, smiling, happy, where else would I want to be? Yeah. You know? Now, he looks after me in the pitch now. Obviously,
as you said, you have to pass the baton sometime.
No, but it just, and I know it means it to him. And as I said, Debbie's there, and his sister Kayla, they're proud looking at the two of us on the pitch with everybody else we just mentioned. But we're there for Noah, obviously, but we're there for all the angels.
It's a family,
It's a family orientated. To me, Féileacáin Fathers is not fathers anymore. It's Féileacáin family. Because the day in it, as you know, there's a bouncy castle there, there's a burger van there, ice cream van there. Bouncy castle's there, wasn't last year because of the weather, but always there. So, and to see all the other grandparents there and other family members there, mothers, fathers, aunties, whatever they may be, uncles, all there cheering on us overweight lads, most of us playing football and getting a giggle out of it. That's what's all about to me. Them getting a giggle out and enjoying the day.
But I think people, what you're saying from my first one, I think anyone who's there, because normally they are some way related to family, you can feel something. You know that everyone's there. Like the day when we played up in Irishtown, the big competition, there were so many people there. The rain was coming down sideways, but everyone stood there. And even though you don't know some people, we're all just there together for the same reason, for the hurt and pain that we've all been through, but to make a memory. You know, to make a memory and say, we're all here. We're not letting it disappear or fade away. We're keeping it going. It's a powerful thing. Like, it really, really is.
As you said about memory, Alan, unfortunately, now And I know I can't make memories for me and Debbie and his family, his brother and sister. His 4 steps, first day of school, communion, confirmation, all the 18s, 24s, all the things that you like to do with your kids. But to me, this is my way of making memories for him.
Mm-hmm.
And with me doing this and just doing what we do, they're the memories that I'll cherish for the rest of my life, and I'll never forget that. Because unfortunately, no, I can't do it, but his name will still go on.
We're lucky as well that with Kayla and Adam and the grandparents and uncles and all, they got to meet him, because we had 16 weeks to get our head around it as such. So he was actually born in my mum's house. We said we'd stay in Ringsend, so we'd be close to Hollis Street. We'd make it to the hospital. We didn't make it to the hospital. The morning he was born, I was getting contractions, so I got up and didn't say anything to Jason. Went into the other room just to check the bag and check the clothes and to do all the little bits. And then about 7:15, I woke Jay up and I was like, right, Jay, make a move now. So my dad got up to make a fry. And then my mum, I said, Mum, Mum rang Hollis Street, say get the chart ready and all. So Jay said, I'll go down and tell my mum, and you had your quick shower. And I had my shower, so I got into the shower at 7. The call was put into Hollis Street for an ambulance at 28 minutes past 7, and Noah was born at 7:44. So literally I had my shower, and then I was like, oh, Dad, ring Jay to come back down, we need to go now. And you were actually parking in the flats at the time. And so that was grand. I had to get from the bathroom in and went back into the room. And my mum was on to Hollis Street, and they were saying, "Oh, can you see the head?" And she was like, "No, it's not the head." So he was born his bum was first. Yeah. So we didn't know that at the time, and how my mum did it, I don't know. And because it's weird, because we're sort of in our bubble thinking that this has happened to us, but it's not just happening to us; it's happening to everyone around us, and they're looking at for the grandparents, they're looking at their kids. Yeah. So they've lost a grandchild, but they're losing their son and daughter, or daughter, whatever it may be. They're losing a piece of us. They can see the pain that we're going through, and that obviously hurts them too. But so basically he was born in Mum's bed. We had ambulance and firemen from Tara Street come down. Like they the way my mum's flat, it's funny now, the way mum's flat is, my dad was out on the balcony telling them which way to come, but my dad went straight into the sitting room, and the firemen were following him into the sitting room. He's like, oh no, she's in the other room. So
your dad was terrified, because I was up this end with Debbie, holding on, holding and all that, and my mother was down to that end. And Jason, so Debbie's father walked in, and he walked straight back out, and we'll get the fire brigade. I'll never forget it. The thing that stuck out is mad when you think about it. When the fire brigade lads came up, absolutely brilliant. They realised what was going on. So Debbie obviously gave birth in the bedroom, and then lovely people, weren't they? Yeah. And they got Noah together, and Debbie was holding them. And when we are coming down the bank, we take down the stairs of the floor, we get down to the ambulance. I'll never forget it. Halfway down the stairs, it was only me, Debbie, and obviously the lads carrying down it was a chair, wasn't it? It was a chair. I was on the wheelie chair, yeah. This is all, it was like, that was Noah's last breath. That's in my when Noah passed. So before we can go in the ambulance.
No, I thought it was in the ambulance. No, for me it was the ambulance.
But for me it was like walking down. It was like, that was his last breath. And we got into the ambulance.
So the way we look at it is like he died in my arms. So it was, and looking back, his birth was perfect, because it took out the whole hospital. What way? Because I was worried about, I'm going to be in a hospital, in a room with people giving birth, and because that was really hard every week going up to Hollis Street, and you're going for an ultrasound with people who are genuinely happy. They're going in, they're having their scans, and 9 times out of 10, everything's perfect. But we were sitting there every week, And I just couldn't look, and tears just streaming down. Then we started to sit out in the corridor and ask, could you call us from out there? So now that could all be changed. Now there might be a different room, which I hope so, you know. But
still,
for us,
for us,
it was horrific.
The thing that sticks out as well, when we went into Holly Street, obviously you're familiar with Holly Street, you're going to Holly Street, everybody running around. We went upstairs with certain word, and the thing that killed me at the time was we were walking into the ward, there was no sound.
Yeah.
It was like all rooms, and obviously I still don't know whether there was other people in the rooms going through what we were going through, but was walking down and it was like dark. It was like, that was weird. It's like walking down that you are going in there. No, I don't mean that way. This is your room. I mean, Debbie was sitting there, but no, there's no nurses running around. You didn't hear babies crying. Like, it was sort of there. Of course, At the time, we probably didn't, obviously we knew what was going on, but it's only when I reflect back after years, like, it was horrible, absolutely horrible experience. Now they have to, so they didn't want to put us in rooms. I understand that 100%, but it was just something like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
I had something similar, and it's mad. I've completely forgot about this till you spoke there. It's mad to mind and how it's stuff when you said about that. When we lost Brooke in the Lords and Drogheda, we were in its supporter fly room. They were amazing as well. But I can't believe I forgot this. But I remember when I had to go in to get you had to do a code to get in the door, you know, to get onto the ward, and we'd lost Brooke and we were in the butterfly room because Ashton had gotten out of ICU. So I remember I was coming out, you know, I go for a smoke. I was just wandering. I don't really know what I was doing. I was just trying to do something. But when I couldn't get in the door, and a woman who worked there came over and she put the buttons in and she just said to me, I hope you're not going in there to rob any babies. And it's mad, I forgot that. And just in that moment, he said it to me there. And I remember but like that, and like the feeling you're describing, because I just didn't know what to say. I actually think I turned around and smiled just because I didn't know what to say or anything, and I just went back in. I didn't say anything to my partner, and because again, you're going back into a room to hold your baby, you know. It's just it's that surreal thing. But that feeling, that when you said about that feeling, that just came straight back to me there. But see, that thing that we're talking about, there's so many little things that we all go through on our own journeys that are so powerful and so hurtful, but there's so much, like, that's just one little moment in a day. How many have we all been through that we forget about, but, like, you know, we just try to get on with because, you know, as you said, life keeps on moving.
It was just that's the moment that stuck in me, you know. Well, but it was like, even as Debbie said, like, we had things planned, so we stayed a night in the hospital.
Yeah, actually, sorry, because I had naturally when we got to the hospital, I could get up and move about. I could, you know, I was able to bath them and change them. And now there was one regret not speak. Well, I did speak up, but it was when we got to bath Noah, they gave us, it was like a clear bucket type thing, and it was like, it wasn't like a baby bath. And I was like, oh, is there no baby bath? And they're like, no, that's all. I was like, okay. Instead of fine saying, no, that's not a bath, you know, I want a bath for my son. But that annoys me. But I know, like, the hospitals are great now. I think with the cuddle cots, we didn't have a cuddle cot at the time. There was no cuddle cots, and I remember being in the room that we were in, and then they came in later on that day and said, we'll have to take him. So I took him for a few hours because obviously it was too warm in the room, and it was a really hot day too. So, like, to have a cuddle cot is amazing for parents. I know they can bring them home now as well. Now we did the following day, we brought Noah home, and it was just myself, Jay, Kayla, Adam and Noah, and we had a lovely day at home, and we'd photographs in the bed, like just the five of us, and it was lovely. We were smiling, and, you know, but it was a perfect night. It was our last night together. It was perfect. But, like, the likes of Féileacáin now providing cuddle cots is amazing.
Yeah, going back on the day we were coming home from the hospital the next day, like, obviously we had things planned, and Debbie's brother, Stephen. I don't know how he done it to this day. He drove from hospital to Arco with me and Debbie and on the back of his car. And if Stephen said 5 words to us, not that he didn't want it, because anybody that knows Stephen is a talker, you know, Stephen's get on with anybody. But years later, I actually apologised for putting him into that situation. And he actually looked at me and goes, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "To be only me there, or your brother Paul, or your brother Wayne doing it, nobody else would have done it." But when we went back to the house, going back to the night before, when we got back to the house that day, me and Debbie had a plan. There was only going to be the 5 of us in the house.
We had close friends calling for they came in.
No, I'm talking about staying like.
Oh, staying.
Yeah.
Because we lived in there, because half of Wings End was down there now the next morning. But grandparents and everybody came down. They came in, and a few people got their pictures and came up to see now. But then they all went 6 in the morning, and then the 5 was there. I even think there was the dog even there. I think Harvey the dog was there.
No, actually, no. Rowena took Harvey.
Well,
It's the little things.
But the reason why I'm saying Harvey is because we got him when Adam was only 3 months. Adam was 3 months old, and he died in 7 days, so he was part of the family.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
But the next morning, then we went over, and we went down. We done what we done had our mass and that. And there's only one thing I wanted to do. Well, 2 things. I wanted to carry Noah up myself. I would have had Adam with me. He was big enough, but he wasn't big enough, and that's what I done with Debbie by my side. And when we went to the grave, when we were burying him, I just said, now apart from Debbie, if Debbie wanted to do this, she could, but nobody else can. I wanted to be the last one to walk away from that grave. And the reason things go on in your head, I just wanted to make sure that nobody was going to touch him. That I was the last one to see him. And I stood there for a good 10-15 minutes when the yards were down, which are down. I wanted to be the last one, and I had a few words with it. Now, nobody knows. Nobody knows, and Debbie, nobody knows about me and Debbie. The little thing I said to him. But I just wanted to be the last one. By that, I don't know if it's being selfish or that, but Debbie was in no state to stand beside me. Debbie was off.
It was okay though because we planned like that. We brought the kids, they got balloons, whatever balloons they wanted to release. We did bubbles, we had music, so it was lovely, you know. And I'm glad we had, and I feel we are very lucky. To horrible as it was for the 16 weeks, we got to plan and to do, like, get our head around, okay, this is happening, this is what we need to do. And I remember even having a fight with my brother. He was saying, don't be doing the funeral yet, you know, don't be going down, don't be thinking that. And I remember, like, I have to. This is the only thing we can do for our son, and I'm going to have it. I want it as perfect as we can have it. And it was lovely. And I did, you know, like even looking at Kayla and Adam, and because we had that time as well, we gave them the option, and at the end we told them, like, okay, Noah's not going to get better, and he is going to die. And we said, do you want to meet your brother? And Kayla was yes. Adam was hesitant, you know. It was like, I said, that's okay, you don't have to. But he did, and I'm so glad he did for him, you know. And we've pictures with them, you know, with Kayla holding them. And so even like with Féileacáin Fathers and all, they have that connection with Noah themselves. It's not just for us. It's not just a name, or you know, for them, it's actually tangible. And you know, they held him, and they did their pictures and to put in his coffin, and you know. Things like that. But I find if we hadn't have got that time, we probably, I'm just assuming, we wouldn't have been able to. Somebody else would have done all that for us, and we might have had regrets, you know. Whereas in that relation, I've no regrets. We had a photographer come in from Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep.
Lovely man.
Absolutely, and
unbelievable.
and we have photographs, and if people are looking at the photographs and saying, "Geez, they're smiling," Yeah, we're smiling. I've just had, that's my son, that's my baby, that's our baby. Like, we're happy. We were so happy. And we have lovely photographs of the grandparents, even my nanny, now she's passed since, but so no, it was great granny, you know, so there's all these connections that, you know, the photographs, and they mean so much.
But they're so
and
important
that's
to
one
have
thing. Just to say to people, if you're better to have them and never look at them than never take them. So take the photographs.
As many as you can. As many as you can.
You know, just as you was I going to say something there, you was talking about something there, something going out of my head. Sorry, it's gone.
Give him 2 seconds. It comes back. It's always the way. It comes back to
you. It's back now.
There we go. See, it's always the same.
Debbie used the word special. It was special, but me and Debbie, at least we done it the way we wanted it to be done.
Yeah.
Instead, as Debbie said, have regrets. So all days with Cara now, and I never forget Cara. I actually remember going up the stairs on the night before the funeral, and Cara was up in the bedroom, and there was always somebody up there, somebody in there. All the time.
Somebody had to stay with him.
He's
not allowed on his own.
But I actually wanted to go to the toilet, and Cara was there, and Cara told me I stayed, Daddy. 9 years of age.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, okay, honey. Yeah, Daddy, I'll stay with me brother now. And went in, I was gone no more than 20 seconds. Right? but when I came back, she was actually talking to Noah in the car. She was actually spent out in his talking to him. Now, she probably doesn't remember that, but I remember that.
Yeah. At least you can tell her that she did. And you know, as the years went on, you can always say, no, you sat there, you minded your little brother, and you spoke. There are things. And at the time, you can't see down the road that this is going to be important, but like you're saying there, you can see how important that moment is now.
Yeah.
To say, no, you did, you minded your little brother, you sat there, you hugged, or you know, it's that. I remember my little girl's done the exact same thing. That's why I'm relating to it, you know, and it's just something. I'm even doing the visual on it here, you know, because I'm connected to what you're saying, and it sounds so surreal, but it's not. It's so important. It's so important to have them moments. Even when you said about grandparents as well, like, and I think when you were speaking as well there, you know, when you're saying about all the friends and family and all that came, some people are amazing as well, because it's an easy situation to want to avoid. Like my best friend, and people come in and they hellbrook. It's so surreal for them as well. And I know what we're going through. And people just don't know what to say to us. Do you know, it's so hard. You know, what do you say? Yeah. You just kind of have to sit there and I'm just here. You know,
we found that people just, you know, cross on the street just to avoid you to say, you know, and like they're the hard things, or saying the things they think are helping that don't help at all, like that, that make you angry. But now I can understand, do you know, but back then when you hear they used to, oh, sure, you're grand, you've 2 others, like, or I lost my dog last week, I know how you feel. Really, do you know, there's things that make you really angry.
That's a really tough one to hear.
We've been very lucky though.
Yeah, we have.
I know there's people out and saying this is our journey. People probably don't like, what do you mean you're lucky? But Debbie, as Debbie touched on it, Debbie's grandmother was still alive. And then we obviously have the 2 grandparents alive, and then we have Debbie's brother Stephen, and then my brother Paul and my brother Wayne. They were all boys. Like, they would have done anything for us. Yeah. And I'll never forget that. They're always there for us now, friends. The whole lot of them. And even today, they still talk. Like, now we spoke all the time, like. All the time. My father only sent me there last week. I was in the church. It was at a funeral. And he goes, I'll get a candle for now. You know, little things like that. He goes, he's never going to be forgotten. Yeah. You know? And
what you were saying there as well, just something that I'm thinking, is there anything that helped you along the way? And I know that's a very hard thing, but is there anything, you know, we're always just thinking of it, unfortunately, for the poor people who still have yet to go through it, or maybe whenever they do watch this, was there anything that helped you along the way? And I know that's broad, but was there anything that gave you some solace or help you moved on, or little by little, or anything like that?
I think for me, it's talking to people that get it, you know, that have been there. Now I have amazing friends that haven't been through it and are there for us as well, you know, but they like things that you you feel you can say to people that haven't gone through it. Now this is in the early stages. Obviously now I'll say what I want to say to whoever I want to say it. Whereas back then, you know, the thought you have, it's like, Jesus, I couldn't say that. You know, what would they think if I was to say that? So talk to people, talk to each other. But I think talking is, you have to reach out to charities. And I find for fathers, the football is a great thing, because you won't go into a room and just go to a support meeting and, I want to say this. You'll sit there and you'll say, do you want a cup of tea? Do you know, I'll get a cup of tea or something.
I took up swimming and put my head in the pool and screamed into the water for 6 months. I didn't talk to anyone, and I just went swimming every night and swam and screamed. So that was it. That was my grieving, and then I capped Alfie until this. And then now I feel like we're like, my kids know about him, and everybody know him. We openly talk about him. It's lovely, and it's an odd feeling, because it's lovely to sit here listening to your story. It's also incredibly painful, but I feel like that connection that people are getting from like such a symbol. It's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
When we're saying about Féileacáins, sorry, just something that popped into my head, and just because it's called Féileacáin Fathers, but it's for everyone. But just thinking, Debbie, if you were to describe what Féileacáin Fathers is, or maybe what you've seen that it's done for Jay or helped him along the way, what would you describe Féileacáin Fathers as? What do you see it as?
I think it's the most amazing support for dads. I see a difference in Jason, but even for... It's funny, I never call him Jason. I'd be very proud to do.
He was in trouble. Jason.
Jason is trouble.
Yes, Jay. Well, I remember it was after the June match, and we were in the IH, and the amount of dads that said to me, do you know, he's great, his voicemails, his voice notes and all that he sends, and I was like, oh, does he now? Like, I didn't know, but all the few of the dads saying, geez, no, it's great talking to him, and he's always there for me. If I'm down, I'll ring and Jay, or, you know, you've helped a lot of people, and that's helped you. And it's lovely that you can share your story. And I think you're the same as me. I love telling. If somebody asks me about it, I love telling a story. You know, and I think it's such a safe space for lads to say they don't have to talk, but even listening to somebody else's story, to say they're not alone. And if I do want to talk, I have support here by the dads, and even I think it's more now as well. The mums are coming in, are sort of mixing a bit more now as well, and it's great. Like we do have a laugh, and it's lovely laughing, but we know there's people very early in the journey that aren't ready for laughing. And we totally understand that. But if they can see us laugh or smile, that, well, do you know what? There is light at the end of the tunnel. We will get through this. You know, at the start, we would have thought, I definitely thought, there's no way I'm going to get through this. There's no way. I cannot, you know.
I wouldn't even thought you'd be doing this today.
No.
In fairness.
No, so it's amazing.
If me and Deb are going to have one couple here, that's it. That's their job done. We just want to help people and try and help them go through their journey. We're 15 years into it. People that don't even know they're going to start their journey. That's I think there's 110 people in our group, and lads, I don't want any more lads on that group. Because
it means they're going through.
Because every day there's people going, I don't want to see any more people in the group, because I don't want them to go through what we went through. But unfortunately, that's what's happening. So if I can help people, it's not only everybody else, there's a lot of people involved in this, in the back of doing an awful lot behind the scenes. A lot of work goes into it. But please just talk. That's what I say, just talk. And if your parent, your wives or partners, whoever it may be, your siblings, brothers or sisters, to me, as I said, I can only say, Féileacáin is a family. It's Féileacáin family. That's just football. It's now the football team, but it's gone bigger than that, and it's going to get bigger than that. So, does women there talk to each other, and slag goes, it's vice versa. Well, not vice versa.
No,
I didn't. Jason.
But the support is there. Now, lads can come down. You don't have to. I'm going back to the football end of it in the dressing room. You don't have to talk. Just come in and sit down. people introduce themselves to you. And I know if a fella doesn't want to talk about how I'm Jason, I'm Alan, how you doing, Alan? You know by that engagement, okay, I'll step back a bit, the chap is quiet, I don't want to make him nervous.
Yeah.
But if he has the, as we call it, the banter, you know, you can have a chat with him. You don't have to tell anybody your story. Nobody's going to ask you your story. If you want to tell people your story, there's people in that dressing room I know that asked for it. I'm there since day one, since the first and Damon Park. And they're close friends to me today. I still don't know half of their stories. But they're still good friends. And this is what it gives us. Be able to connect with each other. That's what I'm trying to say. And then if people want it, they can do it. But they're not forced to do it. And there's all level of football out there. There's some lads play at a high level. Some lads that score on the halfway line. Some lads that fall over the ball in the box. It doesn't matter what level of football. I understand about the football.
It's not about the football.
It's not about the football. It's about the family. It's about your wife or partner and your other kids on the sideline laughing at daddy doing that. Yeah. That's what I love about it. It's just
facts. So you're speaking facts, Jay.
It's just
facts. I struggle with that bit at the start, right? I struggle with the not about the football bit at the start. Because I played at a decent level growing up until I had kids and a wife and found beer and man food. You know, I played at a decent level. You know,
I know what you want to say there.
But I remember sitting in the dressing room with lads, and I was like, "Oh, what if I'm shit?" And it kind of put me off a little bit. But then it was the wave of the likes of yourself, Jay, and Tony and James, and they really made it. It's like, you know what, this isn't about football at all. And once that fear of walking into that dressing room for the first time went, and there's a minute before you step out before you go out for the minute silence, where there's like a perfect home of silence. And you just know that every man is sitting there thinking about their child. And it's very rare that you get to experience connection like that. And that's what, and Jay, you're like, I know we're getting to know each other, but you're a very powerful man around. And you've given that experience to people in that dressing room, the way you talk, the little voice notes that I've mentioned that, you know, when there's a game a week, you always know one's coming on a Friday. Like, that's you can't put into words what you're doing for other people, and it's incredibly powerful. I'm incredibly grateful. It took me a long time to get there. I pulled away from it a couple of times because I didn't want to be. I was like, oh, my man, I don't need to be dealing with this. But you just kept pulling us back in, and you have given that space to people. And
look at you now today.
Well, yeah, sitting here talking. I never in a million years would we have thought we would have done this. I'm sitting listening to your story, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I'd be brave enough to share my story the way you've shared yours, but I like that name on your chest of nowhere. You're doing absolute wonders, putting pride in his name by what you're doing, and I've had a pleasure chatting to you. It's been
as I said, lads, we're making memories. Well, me and Debbie and Kay, and now we're making memories for Adam.
No, you the way around.
You know, me, Debbie, and Kay and Adam are making memories for now.
And I always look across on the floor. On match day, I always throw an eye over to yourself and your son, because to me, it's just incredibly powerful. And like the arm, he's getting taller every year. You know, the arm is going up.
That would be hard.
Yeah. But it always makes me smile a little bit to kind of know that that's a father and son collectively grieving and bringing like Noah's legacy true, and it's incredibly wonderful to see. And it's a weird feeling. There's a sense of joy there to kind of see families like that are connecting together over such a horrible and experience that you wouldn't wish on anyone. So that little partnership with your son alone is powerful, and it's helping loads. So yeah, kind of rambling a bit.
No,
so, yeah.
But just what we were mentioning, Féileacáin Fathers, and I suppose we don't keep it a secret. So look, we never want anyone to join, and what we mean by that is we prefer that you didn't have to, or you didn't have to need to. But if you are in that situation, we want you. You know, as the boy said, it's not about football. It's just about connection. It's about, as Debbie said, it's about talking. It's about not being on your own. It's about having other people who've been through what you're going through. There is the Facebook page, Féileacáin itself, Féileacáin Fathers. There's Instagram. If you're not on them, even if you're just watching this on Spotify, write a note in the comments. Someone will contact you. But sometimes you just need to be a little bit brave, you know, just for yourself, just to some amazing people, like the way Joey talked about Jay there and what he's done. And there's amazing people, but they're just come and find us. That's the only thing we can't do is we can't drag you there. Please come and join us. Most important, before we wrap up, is there anything else you would like to say, guys? You are the stars of the show.
Thanks for having us on to share Noah's story and hopefully help somebody along the way.
I hope as well we didn't offend anybody.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
I hope we didn't offend anybody by it, because this is
Your
me and
story.
Debbie's story.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own journey that they're on. That they're going to be on, whatever stage it is. So I just hope people get something out of it, because we've got an awful lot out of it, an awful lot. And as he said, even kids got an awful lot out of it, and everybody else around us. So that's all. Thanks very much for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much.
On behalf of myself, Joey, the podcast, all your fellow Féileacáin brothers and fathers, we're all extremely proud of you. You've done absolutely amazing. It was I'm getting goosebumps now. It was a powerful story. You connect with it. How can't you? It was amazing, and thank you so much, both of you, for being so brave and to come here and do it. It's not easy, but most importantly, we all know why you were here and why you done it. And we know he was unbelievably proud of you. So thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, guys.